and gentlemen. Welcome to the 7-Figure Fashion Business Podcast,
where we talk about the fashion industry and how to get your fashion business to 7 figures.
From manufacturing strategies, cut and sew designers, to fashion hot topics and the latest fashion trends, I'm your host, Monica Monique.
And I'm your host, XYZ. And let's jump into today's episode. What's up?
Good afternoon.
What is up?
Life. Beautiful. Blessings. God's green earth. Getting greener. What are you wearing? Let's get into the look today.
So I wanted to give Ralph Lauren like the polo look. And I thought this was like Ralph Lauren and Zeee put together because, Zeee love like attention. So it gives Miss Attention and Ralph Lauren with the polo. But for me, it's like Ralph Lauren Purple Label. But it's really Shane Justin.
Right.
I thought this would be perfect for our episode because we're talking about Ralph Lauren.
Yeah.
So this is like an old Shane Justin, actually.
Yeah.
And I wore this to go see him. Super fan.
Shane Justin?
Psychopath.
When did you see him?
2020 or 2021.
Where at?
In New York. He had opened up his store. He had a grand opening. And I went to see him.
Did
Pointless.
You see him? Meet him?
Yeah, so pointless.
So no, you didn't meet him?
I met him.
Okay. What was the point? Why you say it was pointless?
I don't know what I thought. I thought I was going to go there, meet him, and he was going to sign me and make me his next fashion designer.
Shane Justin is young. What is he going to sign you to be? He's still figuring life out himself.
I thought we were going to be best friends.
Girl, okay.
And he was going to level me up. I thought I was going to be a Shane Justin model.
Okay.
I thought he was going to see me and be like, oh my God, you are art.
Okay. And it was probably a lot of people there. So
it actually wasn't that many people there.
Oh,
it was a lot of people, but it wasn't that many.
Did you even tell him that you were a fashion designer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, my friend really wanted to get signed for her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So she got signed for her birthday. But I also wanted to see Shane Justin.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
And then his boyfriend bought him like this congratulations, like a Rolex watch. And it was so cute.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like, congratulations.
Mm-hmm. And got him a Rolex.
It was really cute.
Okay. A real one? Did you check them out?
Yes.
I only say it because I was just watching these videos about how Rolex doesn't let people buy their watches like the first, second, or third attempt. Like you have to be on there. Like they only let you join the waiting list, and then after you join the waiting list, if you like go into any store, they always say they don't have any watches on hand. You can only join the wait list. So their strategy is to tell their customers no. Like you can't buy it; it's too exclusive. You can just join the wait list. So you have to wait a while before you can actually get a Rolex watch. And I believe like the cheaper ones are what 5,000, 10,000, and they go up from there. So that's why I was like, and he got him this because that he had to plan ahead for that. But that's cute. That's nice.
But they've been doing it.
Rolex, yeah, that's their brand model. I was just watching the video the other day. You know, I'm always studying, but because that's about to be my strategy. I'm gonna tell everybody no. Everybody know. I make a beg to spend money with you. That's what the Rolex model is. Like their customers beg them like, please let me buy a Rolex watch. Like I really
said that.
Mm-hmm.
We said this a long time ago.
Yeah, just for luxury brands in general, but not for Rolex specifically.
What are you wearing? I love this look, by the way. You look like fashion. You look like art.
Oh, period. All the things I was hoping Shane Jasper would tell.
You look like a fashion podcaster.
Oh, okay. Is giving fashion podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this was my interpretation of Ralph Lauren Preppy. I get that the plaid may be giving Burberry a little bit, but it's still Preppy Ralph Lauren. This is actually Mage or Mage, Mage. Maje. I believe it's an Italian based brand. I saw their store when I went to Italy, when I went to Milan. But I love their brand. It's very well tailored, suiting preppy dresses, two pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is my look for the Ralph Lauren conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives Morehouse graduate too. So it's giving James Jeter, it's giving Ralph Lauren, it's giving
Mm-hmm.
both. It's giving astute. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the accessories. You paired it very well.
I think you got the pearls. Got to give the pearls for the grandmoms, you know? Meeting your grandmom today. Yeah. That's what it's supposed to get.
Mm.
Um, let's get right into it because the conversation that we're about to have started because Ralph Lauren recently named a new creative director, which is the first in the brand's 57-year history, and he is a black man. Round of applause, round of applause. I think it's very interesting.
Yes.
So he started out interning for the company and worked his way up, but I wanted to get into the background of Ralph Lauren in general first
Mm-hmm.
before the James Jeter of it all.
Okay.
So, what did you learn about Ralph?
I learned that Ralph actually wasn't born into wealth. When I went into the research, and I thought that he was going to be born into it, and
Mm-hmm.
it was going to be like some really easy beginning. But actually, he grew up in a small home. His childhood wasn't, even though he was poor, his childhood wasn't bad. Like, he didn't have a rough childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a sales associate,
Okay.
and he was disappointed with the men's fashion. That's how the Ralph Lauren the brand came about. So he
Mm-hmm.
started off designing ties, and he sold the
Okay.
ties to the people in his school, to
Like high school?
college,
Okay.
to the people at his college, and it went well. And then from ties, he got into polos. His first big deal came from a department store, but the department store wanted him to not have the Ralph Lauren logo on there, and they wanted their logo on there, and he said no to the deal, which was
Mm-hmm.
interesting because when you're in the beginning of your career, like you get offered a big lump sum of money, like of course you would want to take it, or but you don't have to take like every opportunity. So
Right.
that was a part of the story that I really liked. And then once he said no, like a couple months later, they wound up actually just buying the ties and buying the polos and selling them inside of their store. So they still work with him in the end.
Was his logo always that same logo with the guy on the horse?
I believe so.
Okay.
Research. He
Well, I
had
saw. Oh, go ahead.
no. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I saw that in like the 1980s to 1986 was actually when he expanded from just clothing to Ralph Lauren home, houseware, Ralph Lauren fragrance, perfumes and colognes, and different levels of Ralph Lauren. I think the purple label didn't start until the 90s, but I thought it was interesting that he expanded into housewares, fragrance, and other stuff, other categories outside of clothing. So early, kind of, right? Because that was like
Right.
only 10 years later.
Hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
But is it still a thing?
Yeah,
Oh
and still
wow.
in Macy's, they I remember when I worked at Macy's in college, the older women loved to get them a Ralph Lauren bedding set. Like the quilt, the pillows, the matching duvet cover, the sheets. They loved a Ralph Lauren bed set. Um, As far as fragrances and stuff, I don't know. I'm not like a big fragrance girl,
Yeah.
but I know that his houseware stuff, it gave the same vibe, the same preppy vibe. And I believe right before the 1980s, before he expanded into housewares and fragrance, he expanded his menswear line from menswear to women's. So he like expanded from ties to menswear to women's wear to bedding, housewares, and fragrances. So he definitely like had a pretty good build up.
Yeah,
And
he
then
wasn't even a
the ni-
fashion student.
yeah, and then all the way up to the 90s, which was the purple label, which I didn't even know about until you really told me about it.
Mm. He, but wait. So he's what was interesting was he was just good at what he did. He was just talented. Like he actually wasn't a fashion student, which I found really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, the purple label is basically the same designs or like same style, but just with better, more expensive fabrics, and they just have the purple label in the inside. So you really just pay. You know how they say you just paying for a name. Like you really
Hmm.
just paying for the purple label or like just the luxuriness of
Yeah.
it. Like
I,
a regular polo is like $100, and then like a purple label polo is like $300 to $700.
but they look similar.
They look similar. The
Okay.
It's still like the polo, but the logo is different. It's like a teddy bear,
Oh, okay.
or it's still the horse, but it's like a horse in like a dramatic way. But
Okay.
it's still that polo look.
Yeah. And I saw that the purple label has more silks, wools, and cashmere in it. So even though it might be similar or the same design, the difference in fabric quality is much higher and it's made in Italy. So the craftsmanship of the tailoring as well is a little bit better, higher. And they also offer bespoke or made to order garments where you can get custom pieces from the purple label. So I think
Oh
it's worth
wow, that's
I
yeah, that's brilliant.
I wouldn't mind
I might do
introducing
this.
something like that into my label, like where there's a
Yeah,
cheap version for fast fashion girlies and an expensive version for the girls who really are about their life.
yep. That's what I literally was about to say. Like that might be a really good idea for all brands to even consider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes me think of like when H&M does their collaborations with expensive designers and then
Hmm.
they design a collection specifically for the H&M audience, which is just cheaper fabrics but still with the aesthetic of the brand. That's
Hmm.
what the polo versus polo purple label reminds me of.
Hmm. That was really good.
Mhm.
Ralph Lauren is worth 9.9 billion now.
Really?
As in 2024, and Ralph Lauren himself is the second highest paid fashion designer.
Really? Who's the first?
Armani,
Really? Okay. Interesting.
What is it? Giorgio Armani or Gloria
Yeah.
Armani?
Giorgio Armani.
Oh, okay, Giorgio Armani, the first, and Ralph Lauren is second
Interesting, because I
at
don't know.
eight. Well, Ralph Lauren is worth 8.8 billion. Ralph Lauren, the brand, is worth 9.9 billion.
Okay. So interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That is really interesting because I don't even necessarily like see. I guess I do kind of see polos everywhere actually. Even still to this day, men put on a polo when they trying to dress up. I'd be like, sir, there are so many other options now. But guys love a polo.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
When I was just looking at these designs, these shirts, I was just on their website. I forgot about how
Yeah.
much I used to love Ralph Lauren,
Yeah.
and this stuff is still nice. I would still wear it.
It's still nice. I love the preppy look. And I actually had, let me see if I can pull up this picture because, ooh, is this picture going to come up? I had a picture of the Ralph Lauren style aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's still beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. His pieces are really clean. I don't think it probably won't ever go out of style. And the way he associates or the brand associates themselves with tennis and golf and all these elite sports, like you're gonna wear a polo to go golfing. You're gonna wear a polo for a tennis match or something similar, like Lacoste. But the look of a polo shirt, you still affiliate with Ralph Lauren.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
and that's probably why he's the richest fashion designer.
yeah. I mean, his staples, crazy. How old is Ralph Lauren? Does it say?
85.
85. That's crazy.
He had a brain tumor.
Recently?
No, not recently. He had a brain tumor and he actually caught the brain tumor in the beginning stages and he got the brain tumor removed and now he donates a lot of his money to charities for to help with brain tumors, to help people with brain tumors.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's good that he caught it early.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
I do respect his brand. I really want to know like the insides of how did he go so quickly? I mean it was years, but how did he go so quickly from ties to men's to ties, men's and women's to socks and accessories to fragrance to bedding to what he didn't get his business didn't get onto the stock market until the 90s, I think maybe 97, but the mid 90s. So he definitely got a boost from the stock market then, but he was doing all of that before then. So he scaled pretty quickly, I think, up the fashion ladder.
that's decent.
Yeah.
That's
Really, really.
Yeah, I think it's just it was about the brainstorm. It was just a good idea, I guess. But once
Yeah.
once it came down with like accessories, like socks and stuff, I think that really helps your business.
Yeah. Moving into current, oh, actually, before we get into James M. Jeter, I want to talk about some of the scandals that the brand did actually go through.
Mm-hmm.
There were 5 scandals. I'm not going to name them all, but a couple in particular. One had to do with them over photoshopping a model's image. I think her name was Philippa Hamilton. They came out with an ad with her image, and people noticed that her body was very photoshopped. Like her waist was too small, her arms were too thin, her legs, and they accused him or his brand of just body shaming normal bodies because of how photoshopped it was. He immediately came out and apologized, and I feel like that was that, but it made headlines everywhere and people really wanted to kind of drag him for it, but he didn't do it nearly as much as other brands were doing it at the time and even since. So I felt like he really didn't get that much flack for it. Another scandal that the brand had was Argentine. Their manufacturing in Argentine got flagged for being against American government laws. Basically, they were paying the like TSA or people in the airport in Argentine to for their imports to just go through. I don't know if that means like the manufacturing that was coming out of Argentine or clothing that was manufactured going into Argentine to be sold. But either
Mm-hmm.
way, then they stopped doing business with Argentina after they got caught.
Okay.
Um, Another scandal they had was basically about the Olympics. If you don't know, Ralph Lauren has always been the main designer, I feel like, for the American Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
In 2012, it was his first time doing the Olympics, and he got the clothing manufactured in China. And he came up upon like all this criticism for getting the American Olympic uniforms made in China. Whatever, they still used him again, and he ended up from then on getting the Olympic uniforms for the American team manufactured in America ever since. So that
Mm-hmm.
was good.
Right.
I think those are the 3 main scandals that he went to. Honestly, nothing ever hit him too hard. He always was very forthright about apologizing, admitting that, yeah, his business made a mistake and they'll move forward. I think that he did it a lot better and classier than other brand leaders do. So he
Mm-hmm.
hasn't had a lot of scandals, and even those
Yes.
seem small in comparison to some other big brands.
Yes, I was expecting the truth about Ralph Lauren, the scandal. Because,
Yeah.
we just have so many evil fashion stories like that we hear
Yeah.
from some of like people's favorite brands. So I was just really interested, but I actually couldn't find any
Yeah.
big scandals at all. So, and that's
Yeah.
probably
You
why he's
crazy.
so fortunate. The second most paid fashion designer in the business, because
Because
it
he's
seems
probably
like
overall.
he's a good person. Seems
Yeah.
seems very smart, very talented.
So let's get into James M. Jeter. He is a Morehouse alumni and he interned at Ralph Lauren and I guess had somewhat of a close relationship with him. He eventually, after moving up in the brand or moving up in the company, asked Ralph Lauren himself, "Hey, is your brand going to stay in all white brand as far as leadership behind closed doors?" And Lauren took this into consideration. Him working there for so long, his background in fine tailoring, as in like James M. Jeter, he has a background in tailoring high fashion, luxury fabrics, menswear. He's worked his way up in the company to the point where maybe Ralph Lauren was considering that question this whole time. And when it came time for Ralph Lauren to step down, he was like, "Hey, you know what? I would like you to try out this particular brand," which is, I think, Polo Ralph Lauren, the menswear line. So right now he just runs the creative direction of that.
Okay, that's
Mm.
interesting. That's decent.
Really decent. He actually came out with a collection for Morehouse and Spelman's college in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And it was reaction to the racial uprising of 2020. I'm gonna just show a couple of the pieces because you'll notice his style is very Ralph Lauren. I
Ralph
think
Lauren, yes,
it's very preppy
and
black
that's
men.
for college. I would love to see college students dressed like that.
Yeah, this is for Morehouse and Spelman. But it's you can see the influence of the Ralph Lauren brand. You can see these beautiful tailored looks. Like he is perfect for the
Yes,
brand.
for the brand.
His aesthetic is very similar. I feel like his stuff looks cool.
Yes,
I
that looks
really do like it. I'm
nice.
looking.
I would buy it for myself. I didn't even go to
Yeah,
Morehouse.
yeah, I would just because I got an M. Look, it's Monica. Stand for Monica to me. But I'm excited to see what he does with the brand. This was just what, in August or September that he was named the creative director of the
Mhm.
Polo Ralph Lauren. So let me see, September it was.
Oh wow, that's
He's creative director in design and brand direction for men's Polo Ralph Lauren.
I'm excited.
I wonder if the next collection for February or January will be fully his collection.
Yeah,
But if you even look age for the Ralph Lauren brand, some of the pieces already look like beautiful,
yeah,
exquisite.
yeah.
I really like it. So
I can see it.
I'm excited of that brand. I think more brands need to hire creative directors that are new and different and young, maybe every like 5 years, because it
Yeah,
gets the going for the brand. Like it wouldn't have even been on our radar if they hadn't hired this new creative director.
yeah,
Same for Louis Vuitton with Pharrell or Machino or Jeremy Scott. Like I think it brings a fresh view on an older brand, but also it gives younger designers a chance to be part of
yes,
a legacy that otherwise nobody has access to.
yeah. Here for it.
Pretty cool.
Pretty good. Yeah.
You're here for anything else to report? Didn't you say, oh, you said before we started this call something about a different brand? Like, I can't think of it now.
A scandal?
Yeah.
Abercrombie and Fitch scandal?
Yes, there we go.
You want to
What
talk
was
about that
the.
on this episode, or that should be a whole different episode?
No, only because we said that Ralph Lauren hasn't gone through the scandals that we hear from like all these other brands where it's like such big, huge deals. What we can talk about it on another episode, but what was the scandal?
Abercrombie and Fitch, the old owner, the old CEO. Which
Mm-hmm.
Abercrombie and Fitch had polos. They took polo shirts and he just put the Abercrombie and Fitch logo on there.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. But He was recently arrested for sex trafficking.
Oh, okay.
But when we talked about Abercrombie and Fitch, because we did a whole episode on it, he had a scandal where didn't he have a scandal for teenagers or something, and teenagers wearing their body, or was just people upset about?
Yeah, he would have a lot of young models be half naked for promotions and stuff.
Well, Ralph Lauren doesn't have anything sexual.
Yeah.
Ralph Lauren is very classy, so maybe that's a
Yeah.
lot of maybe when you have a brand and it portrays sexual things, you actually can get caught up in it.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe you're doing that to cover up or to get more people in your sex game.
Yep.
Like you're using the brand as a front to get young models and boys and girls on board with you.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is our report on the latest Ralph Lauren news with a new creative director who we're excited about.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Even how on Fashion Week they just had that long fashion show at Fashion Week.
Oh my god, yeah.
I still was here for it. I still was here for the looks.
I'm still watching it today. I can't even turn it off. It's so long. It's still on. It's still playing. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. Yeah.
They had to go through the kids, the babies.
They had to go through the kids, the color schemes, the seasons, the
Yes.
Lord. Okay.
Yes, they had to. I get it.
50, 11, 17 models. They hired all of New York to model that show. Hey.
Well,
it was a good show.
Good show.
The looks were looking like Ralph Lauren. I don't mind the classic appeal of their style. They do a little tweak here, a little tweak there. It still looks good. I feel like Preppy doesn't go out of style, but for sure, now Preppy's having a major comeback.
Maybe not every, but maybe polos. Just take a polo and throw your logo on there, and it'll sell.
We have to get into the history of Lacoste too. Did I send you that? I sent it to you a long time ago, but the history of Lacoste is kind of cool. The polos with the alligator on it. Mm-hmm. That brand's history and story is really cool. We have to get into that one day.
Okay. Do we ever do an episode on Marilyn Monroe? I kind of want to get into the history of her.
Okay. I'm not opposed. I do think everybody loves Marilyn Monroe and does something on Marilyn Monroe. Blah blah. But
that's why I said it, because why is she so relevant in the fashion world still?
Is she relevant?
People still be her.
I think people like people who die after they die. Like people who die young. After they die, it's like, oh my god, this person was such a great person. Their life was cut off short. Let's go back and look at everything they ever did. But y'all never, like, don't kill me now. Don't come for me in none of these comments on none of these platforms. I'm just saying what I think. I think if Aaliyah was alive, she wouldn't be that big of a deal. She would be similar to. I think she would be similar to like Alicia Keys or A. Marie or even Ciara. Like she would just be living her life, but I don't think she would have became this huge idol person that everybody says she would have became if she was still here. Mm-hmm. Aaliyah has a beautiful voice, and Romeo Must Die is my favorite movie of all time. I think she would be a beautiful, or would have been a beautiful actress, even more than a singer. But I think her dying so young and beautiful made people idolize her in a way they probably wouldn't have if she was still around. Mm-hmm. I think it's the same for Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
But just my humble opinion. I don't know.
She's a fashion icon. Oh, we gotta do an episode on Cher too.
Oh, we definitely gotta do one on Cher. Is she a fashion icon, or is her stylist a fashion icon? Like, who was dressing her? Who was dressing the stars of the 1920s, 1930s Hollywood movie scenes? Give me the tailor's name. Let's do an episode on them.
Yeah, we can.
Because whoever made that white dress that blew up, let's talk about them. like that blew in the wind over the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about them.
Let's talk about them. Let's talk about her looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. The scene, the song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Count your blessings.
Before you count your money.
Dulces.
Bye.